So one of the things that is sometimes overlooked in box stock racing is the body, and it can hold a great amount of handling and consistency. So in this video I'm going to talk about what I use, how I prepare them, and yeah, let's go. So in Mini-Z, ideally you want a body that has a lot of room for wheels, so it's wide. Not that you should always go for the flush look, but if you choose a wide body, then you will have the availability to go wide in the front or wide in the back, and also narrow in the front or narrow in the back. So choosing a wide body will have you covered in the offset for setup. And the next thing you are gonna be looking at is how low slung the body is, because the lower you can get this, the less weight you will have on top and the less roll you will have. And with Mini-Zs, unfortunately, you need to take into account availability, because you can't get this, and this is almost my, well, it is my favorite racing body in box stock. It has no wings, but it doesn't matter because I would tune the setup to have no downforce in the rear, no wing in the rear. But this is by far my favorite. It's super wide in the back, super wide in the front, so I can accommodate all kinds of wheels, and it's super low. I think it's actually one of the lowest, along with the LaFerrari. It's one of the lowest Mini-Z bodies. But it's not available anymore. So what most people tend to use are these. These are also great. People talk a lot about downforce and stuff like that. This does not generate anything, and you can you can go ahead and debate me on that. But this in a box stock does not do does nothing. It is so small. It is incorrectly angled because the lip goes up in the front, and it almost cancels out the rear. So I would actually think that this gains lift, but also it gains some roll because it's very high up. Normally I remove these, but this is not my body, it's a board one. I don't race wings most of the time, and if I do, it's like this. This is just because it's a box stock, so it's the part of the box right here, like this. And I just made a Lexan wing, like this. It's super low, actually provides some downforce, and it's not really any added weight, and you can bend it up if you want some more, or push it down if you want some less. So it's a good little tool if your class allows it. I used to race the McLaren a lot. This I can get a faster time out of than this, but it's not very consistent, so I don't tend to use it that much. But this guy, I use that a lot. Wide rear, wide front, so it can accommodate your setup, your offset. And it's a fairly light body. We're not going to go into anything about downforce or something like that. We're just going to talk about something that makes your car easy to drive, and this would be it. Normally I would make, this is of course not my body, I would grind out the rear wheels because I race it almost at the limit of how wide it can be. So this was actually prepared, so grinding out here, just to make sure that the wheels doesn't catch, because that is the biggest downfall of a poorly set up car. That will make a poorly set up car, because if your wheels scrape, then all your setup is just gonna go out the window. So make sure that you do that. The other thing I do to race prepare these bodies are, these are fairly loose from the factory, and when you have a white body as well, and it will do this. from side to side, and there's no real way to set this off. Well, you can make them go longer out on the pegs, but then they will just break off. So normally, you can see it here, and this will make that Koyosho rattling noise with the bodies. So what I do is I put the bodies in an oven, hold on, at 50 degrees, so 50 Celsius, and I wrap them with a piece of electrical tape. It doesn't matter, it just needs to tighten in the body, and I let it cool off at room temp. I put it in there for, without the tape, for, I don't know, 5 minutes, just so it's hot. Put the tape on, let it go overnight, and then this is still McLaren. No, this is not going well. So no more slop, and the body will center a lot better, and you won't have the rattle, and you won't have the body moving around in the corners, making it erratic. So that, and that's how I race prepare bodies. Not much to it in the box stock class, but there it is. See you in the next one.